in the grocery store with our parents, looking at the candy and the junk food and the snacks, wondering in awe when we get to eat some because we love sugar. About the time, that's when Mom says it's time to leave, we look at our cart and we're suddenly depressed. There's not candy, junk food, cookies, snacks. It's meats, vegetables, potatoes, and generally healthy food. Well, in today's society, that scenario has kind of changed. There's still vegetables, meats, and fruits, but it's in different forms. It's in 10-minute ready-made baggy foods, it's in TV dinners, or it's in grab-and-go lunches to take to school. Today, I'm going to be discussing with you the problems of obesity, what the causes are, and what we can do to try to change it in today's society. Let's first look at what obesity is, how it's defined, and how we decide if a child is obese or not. Pediatricians and the experts use the BMI, which is the body mass index. Unfortunately for children, because of their maturity rates, their growth rates, the BMI is more of a guideline. One expert, Francis Berg, describes it by deciding how much body fat, or as he put it, rolls a child has. But they said basically if your kid is in the 85 to 95% percentile, then yes, your child is at a risk of becoming obese. Some of the causes: TV dinners, less exercise. A lot of other causes could be the type of food that we're feeding our kid. A lot of it is processed. Chemically, a lot of processed meats. There's no wholesome good meals. There's no home cooking. A lot of other causes are hereditary. They say that if you have one parent that is obese, your child has a 50% rate of being obese. If both parents are obese, your child has an 80% of being obese. Also, a lot of it has to do with your ethnic background. This is a bar graph for the last 30 years, the rates of child obesity. We have ages 6 to 11 in purple, ages 12 to 19 in green. As you can see, since 1963 till about 2000, there's been quite a significant increase. Back then it was only 5%, and about 2000 it hit 15, and it's still on the rise. With obese children, there's a lot of physical problems as well as psychological problems that can happen. Physical problems, they have type 2 diabetes, which was at one point considered just an adult disease. It is now affecting children between the ages of 10 and 16 most. Another problem that they have is joint pain, which develops into arthritis into their early 20s. A lot of children are being told that if they don't start losing weight by the time they're 15 or 16, they may actually develop heart conditions, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. With the psychological aspect, you have kids getting teased and bullied because they're too fat, they can't participate in sports. When it hits them and all of a sudden they don't think they're good enough, they look for other ways to make themselves feel better. They can develop psychological problems such as eating disorders, which is anorexia and bulimia. A lot of them occur between the ages of 11 and 17, mainly in girls. Another problem that they have is low self-esteem, which can lead them to develop multiple personalities. A lot of times they also will go into self-destructive nature, become depressed. A lot of children, mainly teens again, decide to try to commit suicide, either cutting themselves or pills or drugs. So as we see, obesity has a huge effect on children. It also has an effect on the parents because we have to deal with these kids. Some parents don't know how to deal with them. Experts such as Francis Berg and Dr. Aubrey from American Academics of Child and Adolescent Psychology have stated that if a parent wants to get involved, it usually tends to help. They've given us ways to get involved. One way is by coming up with weekly plans. Having each day, kid does a certain chore. Each day you have a certain meal. Allow preparing time for those meals. Do activities together. Have incentives like you have to do this chore and this chore before you can go watch TV. A lot of times right now, the big trend that we're seeing is video games. She says one thing that you can use if your kids are into video games is a Wii. Get the exercise programs and make them get up and do it. It's still a video game and your kid's still being active and can do what he likes, but at the same time you know he's getting the exercise or she's getting the exercise that she needs. Another idea that they give us is to monitor what the child eats. I hope that I've given you some ideas. In conclusion, I'd like to restate that obesity is a huge problem facing our children today in America, and a lot of the causes are right here in family. We need to get actively involved as parents and as mentors. We need to be actively involved and set standards. Thank you for coming, and have a nice day.